Welcome to our class today, and we have a standing class, so if you've got any knee issues or wrist issues, then this class is perfect for you. We're going to be focusing on the spine for the class, and you don't need any equipment. You've got your mat if you've got a mat, and that's it. So shall we get started? So what we're going to do is just start with the roll down to mobilize the spine, and then we'll take it in a little bit further. So I'm just going to turn to the side for you. So I want you to have your feet hip width apart. So your hip bones are at the front of the hips over here. So especially ladies, we always think our hips are there. So if you think of your hip bones, they're in the front over here. And the toes are very slightly turned out. So slightly turned out is they're just pointing outwards, only a tiny little bit. From here, I want you to think of your spine. I like to visualize the bones of a spine. And in between each bone is a disc. And I want you to think of putting little pockets of air between each of the discs and the bones. So the top of the head is going to start to lengthen up towards the ceiling. And when you do that, you're naturally going to feel those abdominals draw in. You might even feel the pelvic floor draw in. Have a shoulder roll. So bring the shoulders forward, take them up to your ears, and just squeeze them down the back. Think of putting your shoulder blades into your back pockets, and just let your arms relax. Send the chin back ever so slightly, and then send your tailbone down. So it's almost like you're trying to hug in the belly and hold that position. So this should be quite an active position rather than just like standing there in the queue at Tesco's. It's quite an active position. I can feel a lot of the muscles working. Now, just soften your knees slightly. So just to like unlock them, have that little micro bend, and take another breath in. Reverse your chin back as though you're trying to take the curve out of your neck, and then just take the chin to the collarbones for a moment. Just feel that lovely stretch from the back of the head down into the shoulder area. It's quite nice. And then from here, as you hug the tummy in, imagine if you didn't have a spine, we'd be taking the forehead towards the belly button. Well, obviously you do have a spine. So just let your legs relax completely, your arms relax, and then remember, keep those knees slightly soft. And we are just going to go down maybe halfway, or where your hands meet your knees. So everyone's got different arm lengths. And just hold it there. Now, if you suffer with sciatica, your pain doesn't want to increase, or it might increase and then stop increasing. So if the pain is longer than 10 seconds, then you want to come out of it a little bit. But sometimes the pain will get worse and then reduce. And for everyone else, you can just hold it there. So remember, we don't want those knees to be out. As you can see, it pushes your hips back. And also, there's nothing really going on with the legs if I just lock out the joints. So just having those knees very slightly bent just puts you back into the right shape. And then just let your head go. Take another breath. And now this time, I really want you to hug that belly in. So think of those tight pair of jeans that you're convinced you're going to get into one day. I tried a pair at home. I could just about get a leg in. I was like, maybe I need to accept I'm not going to fit into them. And then have a shoulder roll. So breathe in, reverse the chin. Take the chin to the throat. And as you exhale, just fold forward. So we really want to try and keep this circle tucked, so where your head keeps tucking. And maybe this time you can go a little further. Or just go to where you can feel there's a little bit of stress on the body. So for me, I'm feeling it in the back of the legs. Relaxing your neck, your arms, your shoulders, just let it dangle. So you might be up here, it really doesn't matter, so don't worry. Take a breath in at the bottom and again, and then hug your tummy in. So now think of your belly button pushing each of the bones back up to the wall behind you. So really hug that tummy in. The chin is the last thing to come up, and have a shoulder roll. So let's do 2 more. Breathing in, reverse the chin. Chin to the throat, just have that nice stretch. Keep your knees soft, and then start to melt your body forward. The more you can tuck in that chin and keep it tucked in, hopefully you'll feel that stretch down the neck and the back area. So keep tucking in. This is helping with the fascia release. Once you get to the bottom, maybe you can go a bit further, but don't get fixated on it. Just find a little bit of stress in the body. So, people always think stress is bad. If we want to grow stronger, we need to put the body into a little bit of stress so it can adapt to a new body. And then exhale, hug the tummy in, hug it in, hug it in, hug it in. Oh, I love these. And then grow nice and tall, have that shoulder roll. And last one, breathe in. Reverse your chin, take it to the throat, keep your knees soft. Hug the tummy in as you melt your body forward. Keeping that chin tucked in as much as you can. Taking it down as far as you can, and then just a tiny bit further. So maybe the head wants to go closer towards the legs, or maybe the legs want to go a little bit straighter, but keep them slightly bent. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, hug that tummy in again, keeping that nice, tight rounding of the spine. Once you come up, have that shoulder roll again. Oh, this is lush. So what we're going to do now is take this into a rag doll. So we're just going to stay there for a little while. Now, if you have high blood pressure and you don't take medication, you want to keep this quite high. If you're on medication, you can not worry about it. So with the rag doll, the legs will be a little bit wider. And it's a little bit more of a relaxed position. It's a yin position for yin yoga. And we're going to bend the legs quite a lot, okay? So from here, just roll down exactly like we've done. And then when you get to the bottom, just hold it there. And I want you to relax your body on your legs. So you can see how bent my legs are. Let me turn to you. And then just cross your arms and just let your head hang. And all we're going to do is have these little rocks from side to side. So the weights in the feet will shift a little bit. But as you take your arms towards the left calves, I want you to try and think of sending your right hip to the wall behind you. So we're just starting to stretch off that side body. And as your arms go to the right calf, can you send your left hip to the wall behind you? And just keep having these little rocks. And start to observe how that feels. Like I can definitely feel a difference in the right side of my body compared to my left. I always tend to get a blocked nose when I go upside down. Let me turn to this side. So the legs are nice and bent. Very relaxed position this, don't overthink it. So try and keep the hips still as you just turn the body. You can always think of sending the hips backwards. Good. And then release your arms, take a breath in. And like we did before, just start to roll yourself up. One vertebra at a time. And shoulder roll. So that feels quite nice over there. So we're going to come into a side bend now. Again, keep your feet hip width apart. And we're going to be working with the hands. And I'm just wondering if my hand's going to cut off. I'll show you what to do with the hands first. So the right hand, you're going to hold your left wrist. Okay, so you're going to hold the left wrist. Right hand holds the left wrist. So take your left hand up to the ceiling. Take the right hand up to the ceiling, hold the wrist. Now I want you to imagine your right hand is trying to pull the arm up and over the body. So pull the left arm up and take it into the side bend. Now I want you to imagine that you're actually against a wall, okay? What might happen for some people is if there's tightnesses in the body or perhaps there's proprioceptors that are not, so proprioceptors, they tell you what, they make you think your body's doing something when it's doing something else. So you might get something like that. You might get a little bit of a twist. You might even, when you go to the side, twist to the side or let your hips do something. All sorts of funny things your body can do because of the fascia. So if you were against a wall and you take it over to the side, everything stays in that line. So you can always imagine your face is planted up against a window. Now hold it there, take it, send the attention to your feet. So we're trying not to just rock out of that hip or come onto that hip. We want to try and keep those feet evenly balanced. Take another breath in, reach those hands up, and as you exhale, one more breath. Exhale. Inhale, hands come back up towards the ceiling, relax your arms down. I'm just going to do one roll down. Keep the knees soft, legs are hip width apart. Take a breath in, drop the chin to the throat and start to roll yourself down. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. This feels so nice over there. So I always say to everyone is I try not to think of these as I need to get on my mat and do my exercise, holding it at the bottom. You could do this while the kettle's boiling. Very easy. Inhale and exhale as you roll yourself up again. Keeping that chin nicely tucked in. Grow nice and tall. Have that shoulder roll. So we're going to do the side bend to the other side. So feet stay hip width. Now the left hand is going to grab the right hand. So breathing in, right hand comes up. Left hand grabs hold of the right. Now imagine you're trying to pull that right arm up and over. So just see how it feels in the shoulder. My right shoulder is a bit funny anyway, so it doesn't have as much range of motion as my left. So holding it there, take a breath, and can you go a little deeper? Notice your feet. Does it feel like you're into the left foot? Maybe you're more into the right foot. You're trying to keep evenly balanced. Holding it there, inhale, and exhale. Imagine you're against the wall, so just checking that we're not leaning forward or back. One more breath. And then inhale, bringing the hands up, and exhale down. We're just going to do one more roll down, and I'm going to add a little bit at the end. So inhale, chin to throat, rolling down. Remember, keep your knees nice and soft. They don't have to be completely bent. They just need to have a little micro bend in. Tucking that chin in, can you get a little deeper into the forward bend? Inhale at the bottom. And as you exhale, hug your tummy in one vertebra at a time. Rolling yourself up. Once you come up towards the ceiling, have a shoulder roll. Last little bit that we're going to add in. You're going to put your hands into the lower back. So you can have your hands like that. You can have it like that. However it is for your arms, we've all got different arm length, wrist issues, thumb issues. So however you can have your hands over there is fine. Now have a shoulder roll. So bring your shoulders up to your ears and down your back. And I want you to try and bring your elbows closer together. Okay, so just opening up the chest. Keeping the feet hip width apart, or if you want to, you can take it a little bit wider and have the toes a little bit more turned out, so you'll be a bit more like that. You can do that if you want to as well. Now, give your bum a little squeeze and just send your hips slightly forward. So we're not whacking them forward, just a little bit forward to stretch off the front of the legs. Now I want you to lift your heart. So inhale, lift the heart. Your gaze can go up, or you can keep the chin tucked in, which is what I prefer. And breathe. Keep this bum working because it's supporting the lower back. And then release back to the start. Good. So I'm just going to do one more like that with the back bend. Breathe in and chin to chest. Keeping those knees soft. Have a little wiggle at the bottom. Whatever feels nice for you. Inhale and exhale as you roll up, one vertebra at a time. Have a shoulder roll at the top. Hands go onto the lower back. Have that shoulder roll. Hug your elbows in. Give your bum a little squeeze as you send it forward, and then with that breath in, think of the rib cage lifting. I like to visualize balloons inside of my rib cage. So as you inhale, can you get your collarbones to touch the ceiling? Head is up or eyes can be forward. And then on the exhale, pull the tummy in and then relax. Marvelous. Have your feet a little bit wider. And then just loosen off. So just let your feet go, your knees go, your ankles go. And then come back to the front. Take a deep breath in. And then just reach, have this lovely stretch. Give your bum a squeeze, lift your heart. And then bring your hands down and give yourself a little clap. And that's actually how I end my classes. So that was just a lovely little spine mobility routine, which you can do in the mornings while you're waiting for the kettle to boil or whatever the case may be. It's just a lovely way of just stretching off that lower back area. So take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.